When we had militancy in the Niger Delta, probably the country thought that it was a Niger Delta problem. Right now, insecurity has gone to other parts, has spread to other parts of the country, the northeast, the northwest, the southwest. So nobody is safe any longer.
They are kidnapping all around.
9,000.
I will not very happy.
My name is Damilare. You're watching Legit TV. How do you think we can fix politics in Nigeria? And is it possible to fix politics in Nigeria?
We tend to look at politics as a problem of Nigeria, yes, because politics and leadership and governance go the same way. But I think we have to discuss fixing our country at the very first instance. There are challenges that we have today. Restructuring is sounding its drum very high now, with this positioning on regionalism, ranging from regional development commission to regional security. That means that there are fundamental issues with the country which I believe that we have to look at and address before we now begin to look at politics and governance. That there is need for us to have people with character, integrity, people with shared value in public offices. And not only should we have them sprinkled, we need to have the large population of them in governance, because the system is so structured in a way that if you don't have so many persons with value going in there and collectively trying to make an impact, you find out that the system tends to change those with values who are in there. So for me, I term it the challenges of doing good, the challenges of serving with integrity in a pervasive environment.
Right.
That is the challenge that we are facing today.
Right. So do you think restructuring can happen in Nigeria anytime soon? Do you also believe in restructuring? Will it happen anytime soon?
Yeah, when we talk about restructuring, first we have to look at what are the fundamentals of that restructuring. Number one, we have issues of security today. It's when we had militancy in the Niger Delta, probably the country thought that it was a Niger Delta problem. Right now, insecurity has gone to other parts, has spread to other parts of the country, the northeast, the northwest, the southwest. So nobody is safe any longer. So restructuring, how do we have a security outfit that has its own legal framework to support at the regional and even at the state level? That's why I'm saying all this, that I'm advocate of state police, right, but with a more energized framework to check abuse, so that we can do policing well at the local level, which is why some people have termed community policing. The other one is the issue of true federalism. Today, you have the region producing much of the oil in this country for now, and then you have them not having the operational headquarters of their offices in those places that are actually producing. So restructuring means that, is there any possibility of us having a little control over the resources and then pay tax to the center? Restructuring again means it might not be, some people misinterpret restructuring to mean maybe disintegration and succession. Right. Restructuring again means, can we look at the constitution? Can we make some constitutional alteration to take away some items from the legislative, exclusive legislative list, which is so bogus as of now, to give the state the concurrent power to be able to legislate on those items, like issue of security that I've mentioned, issue of railway development, issues of port development, and a whole lot of other issues like power transmission, because yes, they had given some leverage to the state in generation, and we've given to the private sector the distribution, but the federal government still maintains the monopoly of transmission, and without transmission, you find out that you can actually go nowhere. So can we give and grant state powers to be able to transmit, so that if you can generate, you can equally transmit, and then you know how you can work with the distribution company so that a state like mine that have generated so much power does not have the power that we need to have, because transmission is still in the hands of the federal government. So these are the issues that I believe that, if well addressed, would lead to restructuring and true federalism.
All right, so I'll also take you on the issues that happened the issues with Bayelsa and Imo states, most recently Bayelsa states, where power was shifted from one political party to another. Talking about politics right now, do you agree with the Supreme Court judgments in both cases?
I'm a lawyer, and by trained profession, by the training of our profession, if you have a disagreement with the judgment of the Supreme Court, you have a channel to be able to address that. I have not read, people would only make comments based on one or two lines of the judgment. I have not read the full content of, I'm still reading the content of the judgment in Imo State, and I have not, as a chairman, House Committee on Judiciary, I'm still equally reading the content of the judgment of Bayelsa, on the Bayelsa matter. So I would only make an informed comment on both cases after I have read the details of the judgment of the justices of the Supreme Court on both cases. For now, I will not make any comment on that.
That's the premise on which you can say one or two things about.
Yes, because I must speak authoritatively, as a lawyer, having read in details the submissions and then the rulings of my lords, the justices of the Supreme Court.
All right. Thank you very much.